Ciao, sono Gottardo Zancani e state guardando No Enemies Here, Wargaming News. Hi, I'm Gottardo Zancani and you're watching No Enemies Here, Wargaming News. Enjoy!
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Jan Heinemann. Dankeschön, Jan. I exchanged service for Jan, and Jan sent me a picture of his house. This is the house he lives in. It's a nice house. And he also sent me a fountain pen. This is a Lamy ABC, for lack of a better word, fountain pen, straight from Germany. And you can write your name on it. See, I wrote my name there. Your initials in the back. You see that there? And he knows I'm a fountain pen enthusiast. And so, yeah, I don't know where it shows better on my shiny forehead. There you go. But this is a beginner fountain pen. So, Jan, Dankeschön. And, Sush. The Player's Aid, Grant and Alexander are doing their top 10 war games of 2018. A fine institution called the Player's Aid continue with a review of Platoon Commander Deluxe, The Battle of Kursk from Flying Pig Games. Hexes and Soldiers, AJ Toynbee, the man himself, is doing an update to his channel and he's sporting a man bun. Only Toshiro Mifune can sport a man bun. Huh? Hai, baka desu. Wakarimasen ka? One of my supporters asked me if I can highlight his BGG page on him documenting Alone in the Jungle. This is a solo module to 65 by Flying Pig Games. He documented his playthrough, and the link will be below, and the playthrough is Rescue Rambo. Thanks, Josh. Word of Heavy Cardboard is doing a solo teaching and playthrough of Hornet Leader Carrier Operations, a game published by DVG. Talking about DVG, use this code for 25% off on their website. Beyond Solitaire is previewing a Kickstarter game, a game that I personally printed out, I'd say about 5 years ago. This game is called Maquis, and it's a worker placement game during the occupation of France, and it's about la résistance. Merci, oui, oui. Oui, oui, oui. I'm here to present the news. That's what I do. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer has a video out on Is This the End of GMT? Plus is giving us a review through part 2 of Brave Little Belgium. And also part 2 of a review through of Dave Thompson's For What Remains. Also, GIMPY takes a look at Space Infantry, a prototype and a playthrough, a game soon to be published by Lock and Load. Arnaldo reviews Victory by Columbia Games, the 2nd edition, a game designed by Tom Dalglish. Marco also reviews Strategy and Tactics, issue 316, Campaigns of 1777. Devin, the OG, my favorite grumpy soldier, is doing a unboxing of Gottardo Zancani's
Hi, I'm Gottardo Zancani, and you're watching No Enemies Here Wargaming News. Enjoy!
Space Infantry, the Resurgence, or Resurgence, you know? You gotta be precise. You wanna know what's happening on the big board? I'll tell you what's happening on the big board. Kevin, CEO and President for Life of the Big Board, is taking a look at the expansion A Feat of Arms. The scenario is Operation Rosario. This is the expansion to Heroes of the Falkland by Lock and Load. I told Kevin that I was going to hold my breath for him. Here I go, Kevin. Jeff McAleer of the Gaming Gang on the Daily Dope number 280 is unboxing the Dark Valley Deluxe Edition, a game by Ted Racer published by GMT. Tim Korchnoi of Barebones Wargaming is checking out an Against the Odds annual magazine, which is entitled Why Did Barbarossa Fail? And he's playing the game Hitler Turns East. Calandale, also known as Enrico Viglino in real life, continues and finishes Pendragon with turn 6, 7, and a wrap. A game designed by Morgan Guillon-Reti, published by GMT. Enrico also intros Time of Crisis, the Roman Empire in Turmoil, 235 to 284 AD, a game designed by Ray Farrell and Brad Johnson, published by GMT. The Battle of Craonne, March 7th, 1814 is heating up. The fog lifts. French legions press remorselessly forward, and hordes of Russian cavalry charge to the attack. Can the Russian divisions hold on until nightfall? Can the Marie-Louises of the French Young Guard survive their baptism of fire? It's Thursday Night Gamers! Thursday Night Gamers with campaign Part 3 of Napoleon Retreats. Bart Brunching, the chief of Bonding with Board Games, has begun his hand tag, The Expansion, with yours truly being one of the guests, the top 5 war games of all times. And the chief also discovers Combat Commander, Europe, the 4th edition. This is a message for Steve S., one of my subscribers, who always guesses what these albums are. By the way, Steve, what's this album, okay? It's the back cover, whatever. Here, look, I'll make it nice for you. It's the back cover, all right? But at the end of the show, when I have the ending credits, I have pictures happening. The 5th plate, you tell me what the name of that guy is. Lock and Load is presenting their Nations at War boot camp. And in this segment, it's Line of Sight. Let me explain Line of Sight real clear. You see him? No. He sees you. You're dead. You see him? You got a chance. Line of Sight. MAURO FAINA shows us what Modena Play 2019. This is a war game convention in Italy. What goes on? BLASTPOP is giving us an overview of the Korean War by Victory Games. This is the game designed by Joe Balkowski. BLASTPOP is also continuing its Advanced Squad Leader Streets of Stalingrad scenario, Part 3, start of turn 5. BLASTPOP is also taking a look at what's in the box and a commentary on the Dark Valley Deluxe Edition by Ted Racer. Major Tom Solo checks out Field Commander Rommel, a game published by DVG. John Townsend, the soft-spoken but formidable foe, is checking out a C3I magazine with the game Plan Orange, a game designed by Mark Herman. And Jonathan also gives us his review and thoughts of Plan Orange. Wargame Reviewer is checking out Victory and Glory, Napoleon, published by Forbidden Games. He's checking out the components. This video is in Spanish. Dave of the Centurions Review is unboxing the creature that ate Sheboygan. This is a Space Capsule number 1, published by SPI. Gogeta And Dave does something that has never been done before. He gives you his opinion on the 3 best war games under 15 bucks. You got it. 15. 1-5. Haynes. 15. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha unboxes Boots on the Ground 2nd edition, a game designed by Sean Cook, published by Worthington Publishing. Mo of Mo's Game Table is previewing a Kickstarter, a digital game, a digital strategy war game called Radio Commander, plus some nice music. Mo also unboxes Mark Herman's magnum opus, Empire of the Sun, published by GMT. Wayne Hansen, in his Recon segment, is doing The Dark Sands, War in North Africa 1940 to 1942, designed by Ted Racer and published by GMT. Soundboard is doing an unboxing of Space Empire's Close Encounters expansion, a game published by GMT, designed by Jim Crone. This game is an expansion to Space Empire's 4X.
David Thompson, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about For What Remains. So it's my post-apocalyptic skirmish level war game. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, just the very basics. I wanted to talk about a couple of mechanics this time, the things that have been the latest or the last additions to the game design, and what I really think a lot of wargamers might like. So a couple of different unique things about the game. So again, just real quickly, it's, like I said, post-apocalyptic setting, skirmish level, so each counter is a man, and really the focus of the game is to be quick playing, really dynamic. You can play through a session in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but each scenario, each skirmish, each fight you have is going to be based on a scenario, and it's going to have a modular sort of geomorphic board. So you can build out the board. You can either base it on how the scenario is set up, or you can do it competitively. And what that means is you would actually build out the board. You should try to build it in a way that really supports your faction's playstyle. Then you play out the scenario. Usually you're trying to accomplish an objective or scavenge for some very limited resources left in the world. And then of course there's combat between factions. So today, 2 things I wanted to talk about was the way characters level up during the campaign, and also the way they get injured during a skirmish, and then the way that units activate during the game. So when you first start, if you're playing through a campaign, all of your characters are going to start as recruits. They're the lowest level, so every character has a character reference card here, and it's going to have stats for them: recruit level, veteran level, and elite. And I'll send some of these graphics to Dan, because you probably won't be able to see them on the video, just if he wants to share them as I'm talking through this. So you start at a recruit level, your stats are going to be lower, you might not have some special abilities you'll gain later on. As you complete scenarios, you'll accrue experience points. You can spend that to level up your guys. You have a roster of characters. You can never have more than 2 of the same kind of character. So let's say we have this guy here, he's the Inferno. There can only ever be 2 of him in your roster. There can only ever be 2 of him on the board. Okay, so you would advance those guys, they get higher level, they get better. The way that that's represented on the board is every character has 3 counters: a recruit counter, a veteran counter, and an elite counter. So when you bring an elite character to the fight, they're going to have their elite counter on top to show you what level they are. Okay, now what happens during a fight? So let's say that this Hellfire's in the battle and he gets injured. Well, it's just a very easy counter stacking system to show what level they are. The exact same system to show injury. So if he gets injured, we're just going to flip him to his injured side. Now we see he's still an elite character, but now he's injured. If he gets injured again though, this counter comes off the board and he's now veteran. So what is abstracting is his injuries are affecting him in a way that he's less effective, Mechanically, it just reflects his veteran abilities. So the same system that we use, the same very simple, straightforward counter stacking to show how he is advanced in level, is the same exact system we use to show injury during an individual skirmish. Okay, so that's very simple. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the unit activation. So every character on the board has 3 CHITS, 3 activation tokens associated with it. So in this case, I have 5 different guys that I've brought to this fight on the Combine side. These are the sort of mechanical mech faction. So I brought 5 characters. Each of them has 3 activation tokens, so I'll be managing 15 activation tokens for these guys during the combat. At the beginning of each round, I can pick 1 activation token per character on the board. So if more guys, if you bring stronger guys but fewer of them to the fight, you're going to get fewer activations. Similarly, if a guy gets knocked off the board, if he gets defeated, you get fewer activations. So I get 5 total activation tokens, but they could be any combination I want. And there's, like I said, there's 3 per character. So let's say I have this commander and I really am in a position where this commander, I want him to take a bunch of actions. Something's going on, he needs to provide some boosts to other guys or whatever the situation is. I can take all 3 of his tokens and I can put them in the bag for the round, which means I know he's going to activate 3 times. My opponent doesn't know that. You keep what you're choosing secret from your opponent. So I put them in the bag and I take a couple more counters and I throw those in there. Okay, my opponent also takes counters for each of his characters. I don't know what he picked. We put them in there. Now, we're going to go through straightforward chit pull. I'm going to pull a chit. We're going to play the character, etc. until the end of the round is over. Here's where it's different than most chit pull systems. The counters that we used in this round are not available for the next round. Those characters have been used, they're exhausted. So the character can be used as long as you have another activation token. So in this example, my commander, who this turn I wanted to have a lot of actions and I put all 3 of those tokens in, all 3 of those tokens are sitting out next round. I know that, my opponent knows that. So this chit pull system where you get to manage your unit activations, I think it was basically my solution for sort of a fog of war, both in terms of what your opponent not picking, and the uncertainty, of course, of the natural uncertainty of a chit pull system, but then also the sort of command and control you have over your troops. So being able to focus on certain ones at a time, but not overextend them, right? So we can't just pull 3 chits for the same guy every turn. That management is a key element to the tactics of the game. Probably the most important element of it. So I just wanted to cover those 2 things. I thought that players who have in the past played through any kind of counter-stacking game or any kind of chit pull game would appreciate both those elements in the game and also what's different about those. Okay, so thanks for your time. I'll talk to you soon.
By Side Room Games, Maquis, a solo game of strategic worker placement. Maquis is a solitaire worker placement game with variable goals and a playtime of approximately 20 minutes. What comes with this game? A game board, 5 milice pawns, 5 resistant pawns, and 5 soldier pawns, 24 resource tokens, 6 spare room tiles, 9 markers, 11 mission cards, 10 patrol cards, 1 moral soldier tracking card, and 1 reference card. For all you digital aficionados, Radio Commander by Serious Sim. Radio Commander is a realistic real-time strategy game set during the Vietnam War. Inspired by many real stories, Radio Commander is the tale of young American GIs caught in a brutal war that cannot be won. ChimeraCon. Get Epic Games on the table. ChimeraCon 2019, the venue, the Teachers Club, 36 Parnell Square West, Dublin 1. That's in Ireland. The date is Saturday, May 11th, 2019 from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they're saying here that this is a day of war games and board games with a focus on the large, long or complex games that are not often seen in other Irish conventions. Games such as Here I Stand, Mega Civilization, Advanced Squad Leader, and monster war games like It Never Snows or The Longest Day. Shamerica. Get epic games. Gobfest. Play games, make friends, win prizes. Edmonton's Board Gaming Convention, April 12th to 14th, 2019. That's right, 2019. At the Alberta Avenue Community League Hall. The Trumpeter Tabletop Games Society in Metro Vancouver, Canada, has the Trumpeter Salute Tabletop Games Convention. This is the 46th Annual Trumpeter Tabletop Convention, April 12th to 14th, 2019. This is held at the Bonsor Recreation Complex on Bonsor Avenue in Burnaby, BC, Canada. Mauro Faina has a couple of episodes out on his podcast Il Gianizzero. Episode 12 is with Paolo Carraro. Episode 14 is with Marco Nanetti. And also he comments on episode 15 on Modena Play 2019, which is a huge game convention with a 1,000 participant indie war gaming sector in Modena, Italy. In episode 17, Mauro talks about the non-war gamer. Another week, another show. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons. And if you're thinking of becoming a patron, think about it this way. It's $1.25 a show. That ain't bad. I'll see you next week. Wayne Hansen and his recon review is doing. Wayne Hansen in his recon. The War Game Reviewer is checking out in Spanish Victory and Glory, Napoleon, Forbidden Games. The War Game Reviewer is checking out Victory and Glory. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha takes a look at Boots on the Ground 2nd edition. He unboxes. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha unboxes Boots on the Ground 2nd edition. A game designed by Worthington Publishing. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha. A game soon to be published by Lock and Load. Also, GIMPY takes a look at Space Infantry.